and welcome back to Money Live TV. Great to have you with us. I'm Lindley Gooden, and we are here right now to talk about contextual finance with Stuart Simmons. Hello, Stuart.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thanks for joining us on stage.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
It's very good. So first of all, tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, I'm Stuart Simmons. I'm Sales Director at Denodo Technologies, responsible for the banking and finance sector.
Perfect. So without any further ado, just tell us what contextual finance is.
So, conversations around the banking fraternity is around personalization, tailoring of products, embedded finance, and so on. Essentially, for me, it's the right product for the right customer at the right time and through the right channel.
I mean, it's on the lips of everybody here.
Yeah.
You know, how do you get access to and apply your products and develop your products to be relevant right now, wherever they want it? And it's a hell of a job. What's missing? Why aren't we there yet?
A significant challenge, particularly for the established banks, is there's a high volume of data.
Yeah.
Multi-product, multi-divisional, often multi-brand.
Yeah.
And the challenge is that they have siloed data, monolithic platforms that do not communicate to each other. So that means that I don't have a genuine unified view of my customer.
Yeah.
Therefore, if I don't truly understand my customer, how can I truly deliver a personalized product for you and I?
Absolutely. And that personalization has been on our lips for many years.
Yeah.
I mean, but I suppose, as you say, it's still not there. If I'm going for a mortgage, for example, I as a customer will have to provide a lot of information, but of course, some of that is still missing. I mean, as a bank or a building society, in that case, it's still quite hard to find that information. How do I start to make that much more fluid and intuitive all round?
Yeah, so consider the large established banks, multi-products, multi-divisions, and therefore it's quite logical that you would want to consolidate your data as much as possible to secure and govern that data, manage costs and so on. So entirely logical why they are where they are.
Absolutely.
However, in order to achieve true personalization, tailoring of products, real time and so on, you need to abstract above those challenges within the sources.
So above legacy, above the traditional ways of doing things?
Yes. Not entirely.
No.
So, we're all very familiar in the data world of ETL, and we'd never say you don't need ETL because you certainly do. But what we are saying is abstract above the challenges in the sources, stop trying to solve the problem within a source, actually abstract above the sources between the consumers and work at a logical layer in a very agile way. And that also has the additional benefit of being able to provide a consistent and holistic application of your security and governance policies, meaning that now I can create a unified view of my customer, my interaction, the products that customers have, and I can actually now consider how I want to create a personalized, maybe by demographic product, that I can then consider how I want to take that to market, through which channel and so on.
So yeah, lifting it above, it's almost a kind of platformification. It's taking things away from the things that bog you down. I wonder how you work as a Denodo, working with your clients to get them to think differently like that, because it is a process, and of course with compliance in mind in particular, you have to convince banks to work slightly differently and think slightly differently about the way they're using data or the data they have access to.
Yeah, so Denodo is not exactly new. We're nearly 25 years old. We're 750 plus people across 25 countries. And actually financial services and banks are a strong adopter of the Denodo platform and data virtualization. There's very good reason for that. Is how do I solve those challenges of the monolithic architecture? How do I become more agile? How do I simplify my data architecture? And of course, as always, how do I manage my costs? But the real value comes to the business on, as I say, creating the ability to be able to create these personalized products that are more finely tuned to our needs. If I take an example, which we're all very familiar with, we see a house, the house looks gorgeous, and we're very keen to have that house. Can I afford it? Well, that question has many connotations. It's not just a mortgage, it's your insurance, it's your utility bills, it's your council tax, and so on. Now, ideally, when we're considering the question, we also don't want to ask the question via, say, an app and then come back tomorrow. We kind of want that real time.
Absolutely.
And if I can't provide that answer in real time, if I can't provide that answer in a way in which I can consume it there and then I've kind of failed that question.
We're talking a lot at the moment, and today in particular at Money Live, about the new technologies, the use of Web3, quantum computing, dark, all sorts of different things.
Use of weaponry, did you say?
No, quantum computing.
Oh, right, okay, goodness.
Well, this area is about to explode. There's going to be a lot more data, a lot more interaction. People aren't quite sure which direction to take this in yet.
Sure.
And I wonder what your take is on having access to great data, volumes, much more volume than it used to be, and it has been right now, and starting to integrate, because integration and making sure you can work this way and be flexible, be real time, absolutely essential, but it's a brave new world.
It is a brave new world. So there's two elements to that integration I would suggest. Firstly, within the bank's domain itself, so breaking down these silos, but also expanding the ecosystem. So interacting with utility companies, car dealerships, and so on and so forth, but also real time. So giving real-time insights, not just insights for managing the bank as an operation, but insight to you and I as a consumer. So that question of, can I afford this house? Should I buy this car?
Absolutely.
Given those insights, the cost of living, for instance, banks are now providing a kind of aggregation service on subscription services, which has been a challenge, which I welcome very much. But I think we can go much further.
Yeah, that relationship is at stake, and also it can be so much improved when you can help your customers to do things that they want to do, even when they don't realize it's about to happen. In terms of a final thing about contextual finance, how do we start to take steps in the right direction? If everyone's working on these problems, but not everyone's getting it right, so how do we take ourselves in the right direction, do you feel, Stuart?
Yeah, so not to get too technical, but everybody is within the data fraternity very familiar with ETL, as I mentioned, extract, transfer, and it's entirely logical and acceptable why banks have, and not just banks incidentally, but all large organizations have built large data warehouses, data lakes and so on. But there is an alternative. So I would say, 10 years ago, there was one main integration pattern, and that was ETL. Now there's ETL, there's streaming, and there's data virtualization. And I think if you are looking at your data strategy today, you need to be conversant with all three, because all three will have application in your data architecture and your data strategy. So how do I start? I would say explore streaming, of course, things like Kafka, but also explore Denodo technologies, data virtualization, what it can do for you as an organization and what the business value is.
Brilliant. Stuart, lovely to have you here. Thanks for joining us. That's great.
Thank you.
And for now, that's it from Money Live TV, streaming the future of banking. See you next time.